Welcome, beloved, to a moment that can change your life forever. Today, we are about to step into the most powerful arena you will ever face. Not a battlefield outside, not a challenge in the world, but inside your own mind. Imagine a force so strong that it shapes every outcome, every opportunity, and every relationship in your life. Imagine holding the key to your success, your courage, and your peace, right at the tip of your thoughts. Today you will discover how to harness that power, how to turn your mind into an ally, and how to win the battle that determines everything in your life. Yes, your mind is the most powerful force in shaping your life. Your mind is the most powerful force in shaping your life. Your mind is not merely a part of who you are. It is the very engine that drives the life you experience. Every circumstance, every success, every failure, every joy, and every challenge begins in the mind. Before anything appears in the physical world, it first exists as a thought. This truth is profound. The reality you live each day is shaped primarily by what occurs within your consciousness. The power of your mind is subtle yet absolute, guiding your decisions, shaping your perceptions, and influencing every interaction you have. When you understand the power of your mind, you begin to realize that external circumstances, although seemingly significant, are secondary. Life does not happen to you in isolation. It is a reflection of your internal landscape. Your mind is the lens through which you see the world, and it is also the mold in which your future is cast. Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold, every mental image you imagine, contributes to the blueprint of your life. People often overlook this force because it is invisible. Unlike the body, which can be seen and touched, the mind operates silently, continuously, shaping outcomes with precision, whether you are aware of it or not. Consider for a moment how a single thought can alter your day. A thought of confidence can transform your approach to challenges. A thought of fear can paralyze your potential. These mental events are powerful because the mind does not distinguish between imagined experiences and real ones. When you vividly imagine success, your subconscious begins aligning actions, opportunities, and decisions that support that vision. When you dwell on limitation, scarcity, or failure, your mind naturally draws experiences that match those expectations. This is the subtle law at work. The mind attracts experiences that resonate with the dominant thoughts it holds. The practical implication of this principle is profound. If you desire a life of abundance, joy, and achievement, you must first cultivate a mind that embodies those qualities. Your inner conversations, the ideas you entertain repeatedly, the visions you create in your imagination, they all set the stage for the outer reality you will live. When you consciously choose to direct your mind toward positive, constructive, and empowering thoughts, you are essentially planting seeds that will grow into tangible outcomes. It is not mere optimism or wishful thinking. It is a precise alignment of thought and reality. Moreover, the mind is a tool of creation. It is constantly working, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every invention, every work of art, every scientific discovery, and every personal transformation has first existed in the mind of someone. The mind conceives, and the body and circumstances manifest. Your thoughts are not passive. They are active agents that influence your feelings, your decisions, and ultimately your results. To ignore the power of your mind is to ignore the primary force that determines your destiny. By understanding the immense power within your own consciousness, you gain freedom. You gain the ability to change the trajectory of your life, simply by changing the nature of your thoughts, by shifting your focus from limitation to possibility, from fear to faith, and from doubt to determination. You activate the inner force that shapes circumstances in your favor. The mind is both the battlefield and the weapon, the source of challenge and the source of solution. Mastery over it opens doors that external effort alone cannot achieve. Your mind is also a mirror. It reflects back to you what you believe about yourself and the world. If you hold yourself as powerless, you will find situations that confirm that belief. If you see yourself as capable and resilient, you will unconsciously create circumstances that demonstrate your strength. This is why self-awareness and mental discipline are critical. Becoming aware of your habitual thoughts, observing them without judgment, and choosing consciously which thoughts to nurture allows you to direct the powerful creative force within you. The ultimate power of your mind lies not only in thought but in sustained belief and imagination. A passing thought is a spark, but a nurtured thought, held consistently in your consciousness, becomes a flame. When combined with faith, clarity, and action, this flame can illuminate the path to extraordinary achievement. Your mind is the most potent instrument at your disposal. It is capable of overcoming obstacles, creating opportunities, and shaping your life beyond what appears possible. Thoughts are seeds. What you nurture grows. Thoughts are not just fleeting mental events. They are seeds with the potential to grow into experiences, actions, and realities. Each idea that takes root in your mind carries with it the capacity to transform your life. Some thoughts, when nurtured, bloom into confidence, creativity, and success. Others, when allowed to fester, grow into fear, doubt, and limitation. Recognizing that every thought has potential is the first step toward mastering your mind and shaping your destiny. The principle is simple, yet profound. The mind responds to what is given attention. When you repeatedly focus on a particular thought, you are watering it, providing the mental energy it needs to grow. Thoughts that are ignored or resisted often lose strength, while those that are fed with attention, emotion, and imagination develop roots in the subconscious mind, influencing your behavior, choices, and results. This is why self-discipline in thought is essential. You cannot control every event in life, but you can control the mental seeds you plant and nurture. Positive thoughts, when consistently cultivated, produce resilience, creativity, and clarity. For example, a thought of determination nurtured daily strengthens your ability to overcome obstacles. A thought of gratitude grows into joy and satisfaction. Visualization and focused imagination act as sunlight and water for these seeds, helping them develop fully, just as a gardener tends to plants, removing weeds and providing nourishment. You must tend to your mental seeds, removing limiting beliefs and cultivating empowering ones. Conversely, negative thoughts are like weeds. If allowed to grow unchecked, they choke the mind and block the growth of positive ideas. Thoughts of fear, worry, resentment, or self-doubt, when repeatedly entertained, develop roots that influence decisions, habits, and perception. They attract circumstances that reflect their nature, keeping you trapped in cycles of limitation. The mind does not differentiate between real problems and imagined ones. It responds to the dominant thoughts it receives. This is why attention and intention are critical. To nurture empowering thoughts, you must first become aware of the mental seeds you are planting. Awareness allows you to identify thoughts that serve your growth and those that hinder it. Repetition and affirmation strengthen desired thoughts, embedding them in the subconscious mind. Visualization, seeing vividly in the mind's eye the life you wish to create, allows your thoughts to take on the energy of reality. The more detail, emotion, and belief you invest in these mental seeds, the more powerful their influence becomes. Action is a natural result of nurtured thought. A positive, empowered thought will guide you toward behavior that aligns with your vision. Confidence grows, creativity flows, and opportunities appear that were previously invisible. Like a seed that eventually becomes a tree, a thought, when cultivated, eventually manifests in action, relationships, achievements, and circumstances. The mind, therefore, is a garden, and your attention is the gardener. Every moment presents a choice. Which thoughts will you nurture? Which seeds will you water with your focus and energy? By consciously choosing empowering, constructive, and faith-filled thoughts, you create a fertile mental environment where success, peace, and fulfillment naturally grow. Remember, the process is subtle and continuous. You may not see immediate results, just as a seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, but consistent care, attention, and belief bring gradual, inevitable growth. Over time, the thoughts you nurture will shape your life with precision, bringing into reality the vision you hold in your mind. The key to transformation is consistency. A single positive thought may flicker, but repeated nurturing builds unstoppable mental momentum. Every time you choose faith over fear, courage over doubt, or optimism over worry, you water the seeds of your highest potential. These thoughts become your guiding force, shaping your decisions, habits, and life outcomes. Fear, doubt, and worry are enemies within. Fear, doubt, and worry are invisible forces that operate silently, yet their impact is profound. They are not external realities, but internal conditions that shape how you perceive and interact with the world. The moment a thought of fear arises, it triggers hesitation. When doubt appears, it weakens resolve. When worry dominates, it clouds judgment and drains energy. These inner enemies do not exist to challenge you arbitrarily. They thrive only because they are given attention, because they are allowed to occupy your mind and influence your actions. The power of fear and doubt lies entirely in your willingness to entertain them. Fear is the mind's reaction to uncertainty. It magnifies risk and diminishes opportunity. When fear controls your thoughts, it creates a mental barrier that seems insurmountable. Yet fear is not reality. It is an imagined outcome projected into your mind. It is a story you tell yourself about what might happen, and your mind treats it as real. The paradox is that when you confront fear with awareness, understanding, and faith, it loses its grip. The very act of observing fear, without surrendering to it, begins the process of neutralizing. Doubt works in a similar manner. Doubt questions capability, worthiness, and potential. It arises from comparison, past features, or lack of certainty. Doubt whispers that you are not ready, that circumstances are too challenging, or that you will inevitably fail. But doubt is never stronger than your belief in yourself. Every time you affirm your abilities, every time you focus on past achievements, every time you imagine success vividly, doubt begins to fade. The mind cannot hold two opposing truths with equal intensity. Whichever you choose to nourish, fear or faith, gains power. Worry, the third enemy, is the habit of imagining problems before they exist. It drains vitality, reduces clarity, and weakens resilience. Worry focuses attention on imagined disasters, and magnifies obstacles beyond their actual size. Yet worry is also a habit, one that can be replaced by consciously choosing thought patterns of problem-solving, faith, and mental assurance. You gradually reprogram your mind to resist worry. Worry does not prevent negative outcomes. It only diminishes your ability to respond effectively when challenges arise. The combined effect of fear, doubt, and worry is limitation. They shrink the field of possibility, paralyze initiative, and obstruct progress. Yet these enemies are not invincible. They can be disarmed, dissolved, and replaced by thoughts of courage, certainty, and creative vision. The mind, when trained, recognizes these negative patterns and refuses to entertain them. Positive thoughts, repeated consistently, act as an antidote, gradually rewiring the subconscious to respond with strength rather than apprehension. Mental imagery is a powerful tool in this process. When fear arises, imagine yourself moving through the challenge effortlessly. When doubt appears, visualize past successes and your innate capacity to overcome. When worry threatens, see solutions unfolding naturally, circumstances aligning in your favor, and a sense of calm confidence taking its place. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the mind's rehearsal for reality. By practicing courage, faith, and certainty in thought, you prepare yourself for action that is confident and decisive. Daily affirmations and conscious mental habits reinforce this transformation. Repeating phrases such as "I am capable," "I am strong," "I face challenges with courage" gradually conditions the mind to respond to life from a position of strength. The subconscious mind, which governs habits, reactions, and automatic behavior, begins to internalize these empowering messages. Each repetition strengthens the mental framework, leaving less room for fear, doubt, and worry to take root. Action is also essential. The mind alone can create confidence, but it is through action that inner strength becomes manifest. When you act despite fear, when you pursue goals despite doubt, when you solve problems instead of worrying, you reinforce the belief that fear, doubt, and worry are not your masters. Each act of courage diminishes their influence. Life begins to respond in accordance with the mental environment you cultivate. The enemies within are persistent, but they are also predictable. They arise in patterns, usually triggered by uncertainty, comparison, or the unknown. By anticipating these moments, by preparing mental responses in advance, you prevent them from gaining dominance. Fear, doubt, and worry are defeated not by avoidance, but by deliberate attention, awareness, and substitution of empowering thoughts. The mind that is disciplined, focused, and nurtured becomes a fortress impervious to the whispers of these enemies. Replace negative thoughts with positive, empowering ones. The mind is a mirror that reflects the nature of the thoughts you nurture. Negative thoughts, when entertained, dominate perception, limit action, and attract experiences of limitation. Positive, empowering thoughts, when repeated consistently, shape perception, inspire decisive action, and draw circumstances aligned with success. The principle is clear. What you focus on expands. Your thoughts act as magnets, drawing into your life the conditions, opportunities, and people that resonate with the mental energy you radiate. Replacing negative thoughts begins with awareness. You must notice the thoughts that arise unbidden, the habitual patterns of criticism, self-doubt, fear. Awareness is not judgment. It is observation. Once a negative thought is observed, you gain the ability to consciously substitute it with an empowering alternative. This substitution is not superficial. It is a deep, deliberate act of mental creation. You are choosing the seeds that will grow in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Positive thoughts are not merely pleasant ideas. They are tools of transformation. Thoughts of confidence, determination, gratitude, and faith actively shape mental and physical responses. When you focus on your strengths rather than weaknesses, solutions rather than problems, abundance rather than lack, the mind begins to operate from a position of power. Neural pathways are strengthened, habits are reinforced, and perception shifts. You begin to see opportunities where before there were only obstacles. Mental imagery is a powerful ally in this process. Picture yourself succeeding, achieving, and thriving. Feel the emotions of accomplishment, confidence, and peace, as though they are already real. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagined success and real success. It registers the emotions and images with equal power, guiding actions, attracting opportunities, and aligning circumstances in accordance with your vision. The mind begins to act automatically to support the reality you consistently envision. Affirmations are equally essential. Repeating statements such as, "I am capable," "I am resilient," "I attract positive outcomes," reinforces these empowering patterns. Each repetition strengthens neural pathways, gradually replacing the conditioned responses of fear, doubt, and negativity. The mind becomes trained to notice possibilities, solutions, and paths forward, instead of obstacles, limitations, and threats. Consistency is crucial. A single positive thought is a spark. Sustained, repeated focus creates a flame. By daily practicing the substitution of negative thoughts with empowering ones, you recondition the mind to operate from faith, confidence, and clarity. Over time, this becomes automatic. Your subconscious mind takes the lead, guiding you toward constructive decisions, effective actions, and fulfilling experiences. Action is the natural outcome of positive thought. Thoughts alone are not sufficient, but they set the stage for behavior. When your mind is aligned with empowerment, your actions naturally reflect confidence, creativity, and perseverance. Every decision, every step, and every interaction is influenced by the mental energy you cultivate. Positive thoughts, nurtured consistently, produce habits that reinforce success and well-being. Challenges will continue to arise, but with a mind trained in positive thought, they are approached differently. Obstacles become opportunities for growth, mistakes become lessons, and difficulties become catalysts for resilience. The power of substitution, replacing fear with courage, doubt with faith, worry with calm, ensures that your mental environment remains fertile for achievement, creativity, and peace. Visualization and imagination guide your subconscious to success. The mind has a remarkable ability to turn imagination into reality. Visualization is not merely daydreaming. It is a deliberate, focused act of creating a mental image of the life you desire, and in doing so, guiding your subconscious toward its manifestation. Your imagination is the gateway to unlimited possibility. When you picture success vividly, feel it deeply, and focus on it consistently, your mind begins to align your thoughts, actions, and decisions to make that vision real. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between actual experiences and vividly imagined experiences. It accepts them with equal intensity and begins working to bring them into form. Imagination is the seed of creation and reinvention. Every achievement, every breakthrough in human history was first imagined in someone's mind. The mind operates like fertile soil. What you plant in it, whether a vision of fear or a vision of hope, grows. Visualization provides direction to the powerful creative forces of your subconscious, showing it precisely what you desire. Without this mental image, Your mind has no clear target, and energy is scattered, often producing results that reflect unconscious habits rather than conscious goals. When you engage in visualization, it is essential to employ all your senses. Imagine not only what you see, but also what you feel, hear, and experience. Feel the emotions of success, the relief of accomplishment, the joy of triumph, the peace of confidence. The more sensory detail you provide, the more convincing the image is to your subconscious mind. Your mind responds not just to words or abstract ideas. It responds to vivid, emotionally charged experiences, and when these experiences are rehearsed consistently, they begin to shape reality. Consistency is vital. Just as a gardener waters a seed daily to ensure its growth, your mind requires repeated visualization to reinforce the desired outcomes. A single mental image may spark hope, but repeated practice strengthens belief, trains focus, and establishes mental patterns that guide your actions automatically. The subconscious mind gradually adjusts to these patterns, influencing decisions, choices, and even intuition in ways that naturally lead toward success. Visualization also helps you overcome internal resistance. Fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs often arise because the mind perceives the future as uncertain or unattainable. When you practice imagination and visualize success repeatedly, you reprogram the mind to accept these possibilities as natural and achievable. Obstacles no longer seem insurmountable because your mind has rehearsed navigating them successfully. You approach challenges with confidence, clarity, and determination, and this mental preparedness transforms potential difficulties into manageable opportunity. Affirmations and visualization work hand in hand. Repeating empowering statements while holding a vivid mental image strengthens the mind's focus and reinforces belief. For example, as you visualize achieving a goal, affirm, "I am capable. I am ready. I attract the opportunities I need." These combined practices create a powerful feedback loop, where imagination guides thought, thought directs action, and action confirms imagination. Over time, the subconscious mind becomes a cooperative ally, aligning your habits, choices, and circumstances with the reality you have mentally rehearsed. Visualization also fosters resilience and adaptability. By imagining different scenarios and outcomes, you prepare your mind to handle uncertainty with composure. Instead of reacting impulsively or succumbing to stress, you respond with clarity and confidence. Your subconscious mind, familiar with the scenarios in advance, provides intuitive solutions and a sense of readiness. This is why top performers across all fields, from athletes to entrepreneurs, use visualization as a daily practice. The mental rehearsal builds competence, strengthens confidence, and directs energy towards success. The power of imagination is limitless. It is the mechanism through which dreams are transformed into reality. By consistently visualizing the outcomes you desire, immersing yourself in the emotions of achievement, and aligning your thoughts and actions with that vision, you create a magnetic effect that draws success toward you. The mind, guided by imagination, becomes a co-creator of reality, orchestrating circumstances, opportunities, and decisions in alignment with your envisioned future. Releasing the past frees your mind for present victories. The past is a teacher, but it is not a prison. Many people carry with them memories, regrets, and attachments that limit their present potential. Holding on to past mistakes, losses, or disappointments creates mental and emotional weight, diverting energy away from current opportunities and goals. To win the battle in your mind, you must consciously release the past, and allow yourself to operate fully in the present. Freedom from the past is not forgetting or denying experiences. It is recognizing that they no longer control your thoughts, emotions, or actions unless you permit them to. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens we carry. It is the reflection of wishing the past had been different, replaying mistakes, and imagining alternate outcomes. Yet regret is an illusion, because the past is immutable. Dwelling on it does not change it. It only diminishes your present power. By acknowledging the lessons of the past and letting go of attachment, you reclaim your mental energy. The mind, freed from repetitive self-criticism and rumination, becomes available for creativity, action, and constructive thinking. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is central to releasing the past. Grudges, resentment, and anger anchor the mind in history, preventing growth. Forgiveness is not about condoning behavior. It is about liberating your mind from the weight of negativity. When you forgive, you remove the mental chains that restrict your focus, clarity, and ability to act decisively in the present. Forgiveness opens the door to peace, perspective, and the mental space required for envisioning and achieving your goals. Memory and habit also influence how the past persists in the present. When the mind repeatedly recalls failures or past limitations, these memories shape belief systems and automatic responses. The mind interprets repeated recollection as truth, reinforcing doubt and hesitation. To free the mind, these patterns must be consciously interrupted. Techniques such as reframing experiences, practicing gratitude for lessons learned, and focusing attention on current possibilities allow the mind to redirect energy from limitation to empowerment. Letting go of the past is also about releasing fear of the unknown. Often, people cling to familiar failures or disappointments because they seem safer than venturing into uncharted territory. Yet the present moment, when embraced fully, holds infinite potential. By consciously choosing to release attachment to outcomes, past judgments, limiting self-perceptions, you create space for new experiences, growth, and achievement. The mind, unburdened, can focus entirely on what can be created, improved, or accomplished now. Affirmation and visualization are powerful allies in this process. Affirming statements such as, "I release the past and embrace the present. I am free to create my highest good," now reinforces the mental habit of letting go. Visualizing yourself stepping forward with confidence, unencumbered by old limitations, creates a subconscious expectation of success. Each repetition strengthens the mind's ability to focus on present opportunities rather than past obstacles. Freedom from the past also fosters courage and risk-taking. When you are not weighed down by previous failures or regrets, you approach challenges with optimism and clarity. You are able to make decisions confidently, take decisive action, and embrace opportunities without hesitation. The mind, unshackled, becomes a fertile ground for creativity, problem-solving, and achievement. The past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. You are always capable of creating new patterns, new outcomes, and new possibilities. By releasing the mental and emotional hold of history, you reclaim the present and empower your mind to orchestrate victories that were previously blocked by memory, doubt, or attachment. The moment you let go, the mind becomes a dynamic instrument of creation, aligning thought, action, and circumstance with your desired life path. Daily affirmations strengthen your inner power. Daily affirmations are not just words. They are deliberate statements that shape your subconscious mind, guiding it toward the reality you desire. Repeating affirmations consistently trains your mind to focus on positive, empowering thoughts, gradually replacing doubt, fear, and negativity with confidence, courage, and clarity. The subconscious mind absorbs the repeated beliefs and begins to influence your decisions, habits, and perceptions in alignment with these statements. Each affirmation is like a seed planted in fertile soil. With attention and consistency, it grows into mental strength, resilience, and unwavering focus. By consciously choosing words that reflect your goals, your abilities, and your potential, you create a mental environment where success is inevitable. Affirmations empower the mind to overcome obstacles, attract opportunities, and maintain a steady course, even amidst challenges, reinforcing your inner power. Each day, action is necessary to manifest your thoughts into reality. Thoughts alone are powerful, but they require action to transform into tangible results. The mind provides the vision, the belief, and the direction, but your actions bring those mental constructs into the physical world. Action bridges the gap between intention and manifestation, giving substance to imagination, determination to plans, and momentum to dreams. Each step taken, no matter how small, signals to your subconscious that you are committed, reinforcing positive thought patterns and building confidence. Inaction allows doubt and fear to flourish, but decisive, consistent action strengthens mental focus and aligns circumstances in your favor. When the mind is guided by clarity, positivity, and faith, and paired with committed action, the results are inevitable. Action amplifies thought, converts ideas into achievements, and solidifies the inner belief that success is not only possible, but natural. Challenges are opportunities to build mental resilience. Every challenge you face is not a barrier, but an invitation to strengthen your mind and expand your inner capacity. Obstacles test your focus, patience, and determination, but they also reveal the hidden power within you. When you view difficulties as opportunities, you shift your perspective from limitation to growth, from fear to possibility. Each trial faced with courage, persistence, and belief enhances your mental resilience, creating a mind that remains calm and decisive under pressure. The subconscious mind learns from each victory over adversity, building confidence, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. Challenges become teachers, shaping your character and reinforcing the truth that you are stronger than circumstances. By embracing obstacles as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, you cultivate a resilient, unwavering mind ready to transform every difficulty into a triumph. Victory begins the moment your mind aligns with belief, purpose, and faith. The true moment of victory is not in external outcomes, but in the inner alignment of thought, belief, and purpose. When your mind is focused on what is possible, confident in your abilities, and unwavering in faith, you generate a force that naturally attracts success and fulfillment. Purpose gives direction, belief fuels persistence, and faith empowers courage, creating a harmonious mental state that drives consistent, effective action. Your subconscious mind, aligned with these principles, organizes opportunities, resources, and circumstances in your favor. This inner victory sets the stage for external accomplishments, because the mind that believes, focuses, and persists acts decisively and naturally draws outcomes that reflect its mental clarity. Alignment of thought, belief, and faith is the foundation from which all triumphs arise. You have now walked through the path of transformation. You've learned that your mind is the most powerful force shaping your reality. You've discovered that every thought is a seed, and what you nurture grows. You've confronted the enemies within, fear, doubt, and worry, and replaced them with positive, empowering beliefs. You've seen how visualization and imagination guide your subconscious to success, how daily affirmations strengthen your inner power, and how action transforms thought into reality. Challenges are no longer obstacles, but opportunities to build resilience, and victory begins the moment your mind aligns with belief, purpose, and faith. Remember, beloved, this is not just theory, it is a living truth, waiting for you to claim it. Here on your channel name, we empower minds, inspire hearts, and guide you to live the life you were meant to lead. Let this message sink deep into your consciousness, and take the first step today. Win the battle in your mind, and watch as your life transforms effortlessly before you.